This is Howard Rheingold, and today I'm introducing Buffy J. Hamilton, who is a school librarian at Creekview High School in Canton, Georgia. I found Buffy via Twitter and was particularly interested in the work that she's doing with students and an RSS aggregator called NetVibes to do the kind of reports that traditionally have been done on paper and that are not seen by the world. So, Buffy, can you tell us about that project?
Yes, thank you. I'm currently working with two sections of 10th grade students. This is a 10th Literature Composition Honors course, and each course section contains approximately between 20 to 25 students. And for the last 10 weeks or so, our students have been researching veterans issues. And as part of this research experience, students have been reading an assortment of fiction and nonfiction related to different veterans issues from different wars, different time periods. So they meet in literature circles one day a week and have time to discuss and comment on each other's blogs, their reading journals. So they have that as part of the research and learning experience. But instead of a traditional paper, my co-teacher and I, Susan Lester, thought it really would be meaningful for the students to learn how to construct their own personal learning environment or their own information dashboard for this project. And the NetVibes pages that they have been creating really embody a lot of different learning experiences, if you will. Most of the students have established at least one tab with their pages to reflect certain information source elements. They've learned how to get the code to embed our Gale database widgets as they use some of our databases like Gale Virtual Reference Library and Global Issues and Context. But they've also learned how to embed their own information sources. They've been using a tool called Evernote to bookmark their favorite resources for this project, which could include emails with experts, different web pages they have found, database articles. They know how to capture the permalink. It might even include videos or podcasts. So we've tried to expose them to a broad range of different information sources, both traditional as well as emerging forms of social scholarship like blogs or Twitter feeds. And as they bookmark these sources to their Evernote notebooks, they've learned how to make those public and how to grab the RSS feed for their bookmarks so that not only do they have easy access to those, but so that their classmates can also see what they are bookmarking, because there is some overlap of research topics. For instance, between the two classes, we have about 4 to 5 students who are interested in finding out about the science of bionic prosthetics. So they're kind of cross-collaborating and building information sources together. But a few are using Diigo in place of Evernote. We wanted to give them a choice for ways to bookmark those resources, but most are using Evernote, and they love that tool. Other items or tools they're including on their their NetVibes pages may include RSS feeds from other favorite resources. Perhaps they're reading someone's blog or someone's Google Reader account. One of our students connected through his blog with a bionics prosthetics expert and got connected to him through Twitter and through his Google Reader feed. So now he captures that expert's shared items, Google Reader account through RSS. Students have also, though, been embedding other kinds of information sources or learning tools that they feel reflect the overall research experience. Some of them are creating multi-genre artifacts and embedding those into their NetVibes pages. Others are actually embedding key web resources or videos that they feel are really essential to their research experience. And so students have really effectively learned how to become their own information filters, which to me is the ultimate act of information fluency. They, in essence, are building their own subject guides or research pathfinders that we've modeled for them since last August on their own using NetVibes. And the majority of our students have taken to NetVibes like a duck to water. They love that they can customize the themes, that they can manipulate the templates, and that they can organize the information in a way that they see appropriate. For example, if they want a tab of all their video sources, they can do that. If they want a tab of just nothing but RSS feeds from favorite magazines, a saved database search, wherever it may be coming from, they can organize it in that way. And I think what's really exciting about NetVibes is that it really allows us to privilege multiple forms of literacy, and for our students to engage in transliteracy, in which they are really being able to read and write and share information across a variety of platforms. So it's really been exciting for Mrs. Lester and I to watch their growth this year, especially in the last 10 weeks, as we've tried to scaffold and support their information literacy skills since last August, and to see them take the reins and take ownership and create this digital story of learning, if you will, of their learning tools, their information sources, sort of a digital representation of the story of research and learning through their NetVibes portals.
So this student work, as I saw, is visible online on the web to everybody. And of course, I'm sure you're aware that there are many schools in the U.S. in which access to the internet is filtered or outright forbidden. What's the advantage of, instead of writing a paper and only your teacher sees it, of putting your work up there for the world to see? And how do the students react to that?
I think it's been very empowering to the students to know that they have an audience for their work. Not only have they been able to connect with other classmates, both within their individual class periods as well as the additional second section of class, to engage in this collaborative knowledge building and collective intelligence, if you will, but they also have been getting feedback from a more global audience. Perhaps some of these experts, as I mentioned, are coming across their work and engaging in conversations with them about other places to go for additional resources, or offering their expertise through a virtual interview. They really, I think, see authenticity and value in this research, that it has a real world connection when other students and adults outside our individual learning community are contributing to that learning process and providing them some feedback. And I'm very fortunate that in my district, we have what I would consider to be a fairly progressive information access policy. And so that has enabled us to create these kinds of learning artifacts that are visible to the world and transparent.
Any words of advice and support to other librarians out there who are interested in bringing internet-based resources to teachers and students?
I think it's really important to provide a lot of hands-on support, and for me, I've been able to do that because of this really deep collaborative partnership that I've established with Mrs. Lester, the classroom teacher. We have worked side by side essentially pretty much almost the entire school year since August, and that we've step by step scaffolded these students learning of these tools. We found that back in August, very few of them knew about blogging, understood, how do you evaluate a video or how do you evaluate a blog. This was all new to them. And so when you go about this, I think patience and persistence is the key, and establishing that rich kind of collaborative partnership. And I think that's been also valuable for the kids to see us modeling that we're learning with them too. It makes it a little less intimidating, and that they know that we've established a climate that invites participation, inquiry, and it's a safe space to take risk without fear of failure, so to speak. And it's been probably the most rewarding and exciting experience in my 18 years as an educator, working with these students this year, giving them these opportunities to engage in real world research and learning how to harness these tools that we know they're out there dabbling in and exploring, but teaching them how do you use them effectively, how do you know what to focus on, how do you assess that, and how do you make that work for you as a learner.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. I hope this will be encouraging to others out there.